see how tight that is right there? That's, I'm gonna have to move this over. Hey everyone, we're back in the garage after my little rollover episode there. That was a number of weeks ago. We're into the second week of April now, and it's still really cold. Last 2 weeks hasn't been above zero at all. A couple nights have been minus 20. No snow has melted, and it's starting to get worrisome. But when I brought the XMR home after my little rollover there, I wanted to go through everything. I knew there'd be some oil in the clean hose from the airbox, and sure enough, yeah, there was. So that's what all the oil absorb stuff is on the floor. And while I was looking at the rear end, that's the brand new rear diff from Mud and Wheels. Yeah, and I was looking at the rear axles, and I noticed that this one was starting to grind. The dust cap here was starting to grind into the diff there a little bit. Now I've tried to pull it back a bit, but I thought these were actually attached to the axle themselves, but apparently they move. And what I thought was that the one on the left side here was about a 1/4 inch away, so I didn't think the axle was set properly, and this one was set in, so I thought maybe this one was set in too much and that one wasn't. So pulled this one back and tried to put the other axle in closer, but I couldn't get it in any closer, so it didn't make any sense to me. And then someone finally told me that, yeah, those dust caps move, so that made more sense, that the axle actually was set in and that I had it right, and it's just the dust caps had moved. There's the axle, there's the dust caps. So I'm going to try and bang the dust cap in a little bit on this one and a little out on the other one. The ends of the axles still good. Retaining clip is good. The boots are still good on them. Took the whole swing arm off. You take the bolt right through. That comes out on the other side. I'm going to show. There's the bolt. Alright, so I'm just going to put the axle back in and then try and tap the dust cap in a little bit. I don't know if you'll be able to see what I mean, but so there you can see that the axle is locked in. And okay, now if you can see right in there, you'll see that where my finger is, that the dust cap actually sits back about 3/16. So you can try and tap that in just a touch, but that axle is locked in. That one seems to be good. I'm not sure how I'm going to get the other side out a bit, but they seem to move all right. So I'm going to put this back together now. Get this back together, and then I have a steering brace. So this would be how you would have to grease your wheel bearings too. You have to take this swing arm off. I've already greased those and greased the front. Now we're going to try and get this back in. the axle on. Oop. That's on. Alright, axle's in. Slide that back in. Try and line it up. Let's see if I can get the bolt through the other side. Alright. I'll have to hold the other side with a wrench and run that in. Torque that up. Okay, I've got the shock and the sway arm on there. The spindle on there. Washer. So 151 foot-pounds. £151. I'm using inch and 1/16. I don't have a metric one that fits that, and that's pretty close. That's the axle and swing arm and everything put back together. Ready to put the wheels back on. So we're going to move over to the steering stem now. So after my little episode of rolling over there, I thought, you know what, I better do something about the steering since it's 2 inches higher with the little lift I put in there. So I got the Seco, I hope I'm saying that right, racing steering brace. Basically just a solid piece of aluminum attached onto a plate. This is just gonna slide into the steering column, and then the block will fit on top of there. So give you instructions, a couple little stickers, and some bolts. So we got to take these bottom bolts out first. Handlebars and bar riser are off. That is the steering stem there. The brace is going to go inside, and this ridge around here will fit up into that groove. And if you have a bent stem at all, this will straighten it out. So that goes on like that, and the 4 bolt holes up here line up. You can see how much thicker that's going to be now. Thick as my finger, almost a ½ inch. And we'll call it ½ inch. So this is going to be 2.5 inches. So it'll be interesting to see if I get enough slack out of that. Give her a try, I guess. Alright, so M8 1.25 bolts. The bolts that Seco gave me were too long, and the other ones are too short. So fortunately I had 4 bolts from another job, another project, so I had to cut them off a little bit, but should be good. And that's going to hold on the block. Now the only thing is that I'm going to see how tight this fits when I get it up there. I'm going to pull this up on top. Now you got lots of room like this, but when you turn, that's going to be the clencher. That brake line is pretty tight already. What I might have to do is move this brake over a little bit, get some more room. That's quite the process to get the Allen key in there. Once I finally got the bolts up, now I can tighten them. But just to move stuff around, it's pretty tight. Now I gotta jack the front end up and see how tight that is right there. I'm gonna have to move this over. That'll have to come over. Yeah, the rest of these are okay. It's just the front brake line. Well, see what we can do about it. I moved this whole cluster of stuff over. Good 5/8 of an inch. Everything over, and that gives the brake cable lots more slack. Now she should be good. That's the Seco Racing steering stem brace. All done. Alright everybody, hopefully the snow will start melting someday if it ever warms up and we get out for some rides. Thanks for watching everybody.